Public space is not neutral ground. It is a hunting field disguised as a marketplace. Every glance is a measurement. Every silence is a judgment. Machiavelli understood this long before modern psychology gave it cleaner words. He knew that the crowd is not a collection of individuals, but a single organism with instincts, fears, and an unforgiving memory. And in public, you are never evaluated for who you are evaluated for what you signal. Most people believe danger comes from loud conflict. They are wrong. Real damage is done quietly, invisibly, through perception, through what others think they can do to you, or get away with doing to you. The moment you enter public view, you are stripped of privacy and placed inside a hierarchy that decides your value before you speak. This hierarchy does not care about your intentions, it only reads behavior. You were taught that authenticity is strength, that openness creates trust, that being yourself earns respect. These are comforting lies designed for people who never intend to rise. In reality, exposure creates leverage for others, not safety for you. Nature does not reward transparency, it rewards ambiguity. The predator that survives is not the one that announces itself, but the one that is unreadable until the moment of action. The human brain evolved to scan for weakness, not consciously, automatically. Micro-pauses in speech, emotional leakage, over-explaining, defensiveness. These are not human, they are tells. And once noticed, they cannot be unseen. Public settings amplify this effect because observers feel anonymous and therefore entitled to judge without consequence. They will not attack you directly. They will file you away mentally as inferior, as exploitable, as safe to ignore. One of the gravest mistakes you can make in public is revealing your internal state, your frustration, your excitement, your insecurity. Emotion is information, and information is power transferred away from you. Machiavelli warned that men are quicker to forget the death of a father than the loss of their position. Why? Because position determines how others treat you, and emotional exposure lowers position instantly. Silence, on the other hand, unnerves. Silence forces projection. When you do not clarify yourself, others fill the gap with their own fears and assumptions. This is not cruelty, it is mechanics. The mind hates uncertainty, it rushes to resolve it. And whoever controls uncertainty controls the interaction. Another fatal error is attempting to be liked by the crowd. Approval-seeking behavior triggers contempt at a biological level. In primate hierarchies, the individual who seeks validation signals dependency. Dependency invites dominance. The crowd does not reward those who bend toward it. It rewards those who seem unaffected by it, those who could leave and not look back. Public behavior is performance whether you admit it or not. The only question is whether you are performing consciously or unconsciously. The unconscious performer leaks fear. The conscious one withholds it. Machiavelli did not advise virtue for its own sake. He advised the appearance of virtue when it served power. Appearance is not deception, it is strategy. Understand this. People do not respond to your words first. They respond to your frame, your posture, your timing, your restraint. Once the frame is set, words merely decorate it. If the frame is weak, eloquence will not save you. If the frame is strong, even silence will speak on your behalf. Most people walk into public spaces psychologically naked, convinced that honesty will protect them. It never has. It never will. The world respects boundaries, not confessions. It follows certainty, not explanation. And it watches relentlessly for those who forget that visibility is vulnerability. There are behaviors that instantly reduce your perceived rank, behaviors so common they are considered normal. Machiavelli saw them as fatal errors, And once you recognize them, you will see them everywhere, in meetings, on streets, in conversations that seem harmless. And once you see them, you will never commit them again. One of the quickest ways to lose power in public is to explain yourself when no explanation is required. The moment you justify, you kneel. Justification is an unconscious admission of lower status. It signals that you believe others are entitled to your reasoning. Machiavelli understood that authority does not argue its existence, it assumes it. The lion does not persuade the deer that it has the right to stand where it stands. When you over-clarify your actions, you invite scrutiny. Scrutiny leads to interpretation. Interpretation leads to judgment, and judgment is rarely generous. The human mind, when given excess information, does not reward honesty. It searches for inconsistency, for cracks, for leverage. By speaking more than necessary, you give others tools to position themselves above you. Public spaces magnify this effect because status is comparative. You are never judged alone, you are judged relative to others present. The one who speaks least yet remains calm appears composed. The one who fills silence appears anxious. Anxiety is contagious, but not in the way people think. It does not inspire empathy. It triggers avoidance or dominance. Neither serves you. Another behavior Machiavelli would have warned against is displaying outrage. Public outrage feels powerful to the one expressing it, but it is interpreted as loss of control by everyone else. Control is the currency of power. The person who cannot govern their reactions is assumed incapable of governing anything else. Rage is not strength, it is leakage. Observe how crowds respond to anger. They do not submit to it. They either retreat, mock, or wait for it to burn itself out. Anger shortens your time horizon. It forces immediate response. Those watching are given time to think. That asymmetry is deadly. Machiavelli favored patience because patience stretches power over time. Impulse collapses it. There is also the mistake of public humility. This is not modesty. This is self-diminishment disguised as virtue. Apologizing unnecessarily, downplaying your competence, laughing at yourself to soften others. These behaviors are praised socially, but punished hierarchically. The group may smile, but the hierarchy takes notes, and it never forgets who lowered themselves voluntarily. From an evolutionary perspective, self-belittlement signals low mate value and low threat potential. The brain categorizes you quickly: safe, non-competitive, background. Once categorized, reversal is nearly impossible. First impressions are not fragile, they are sticky. Machiavelli knew that reputation, once formed, resists correction even when facts change. Another silent error is reacting immediately to provocation. The provocateur seeks one thing: control of your emotional tempo. When you react instantly, you hand it over. You allow someone else to dictate your internal state. That is not interaction, that is domination. The one who moves second sees more, understands more, and chooses better. Public provocations are rarely about the surface issue. They are tests, tests of composure, tests of boundaries, tests of whether you can be pulled into someone else's frame. Passing the test requires restraint, not cleverness. Silence frustrates the provocateur because it denies feedback. Without feedback, their brain cannot calibrate. They lose balance. Many believe confidence is loud. Machiavelli knew confidence is quiet. It is slow. It does not rush to prove itself. It lets others overextend while it remains centered. In public, speed is often mistaken for strength, but speed without direction is panic in disguise. There is a deeper truth beneath all of this. Public space is a theater of rank. Every behavior either consolidates your position or erodes it. There is no neutral action.
Even inaction communicates, especially inaction. The disciplined mind chooses what to reveal and what to withhold. The undisciplined mind broadcasts itself indiscriminately. You must understand that most people are not malicious, they are opportunistic. They respond to signals, not ethics. If you signal weakness, they step forward. If you signal solidity, they adjust. Machiavelli did not fear evil men. He feared foolish ones who misunderstood how the world actually operates. There are still deeper mistakes, more subtle, more dangerous because they feel socially correct. They involve loyalty, humor, and trust, and they destroy power faster than open conflict ever could.
There is a mistake that appears harmless, even noble, yet it corrodes authority faster than open submission. It is public loyalty. Defending others loudly, aligning yourself visibly with individuals, opinions, or causes before their value is proven. Machiavelli warned against binding yourself too tightly in the open because the crowd does not reward loyalty. It exploits it. Loyalty displayed publicly becomes a leash others believe they can pull. When you declare allegiance, you surrender optionality. You tell observers where you will stand before the battle reveals itself. This allows smarter players to maneuver around you. In nature, the creature that survives longest is the one that adapts last, not first. Premature commitment is not courage, it is impatience dressed as principle. The human mind is constantly mapping alliances. Who stands with whom? Who protects whom? Who owes whom? When you rush to take sides publicly, you inherit conflicts that are not yours and enemies you did not choose. Worse, you inherit their reputations. If they fall, they take you with them. Machiavelli understood that proximity is contagious. Power transfers, so does disgrace. Another fatal behavior is public humor at your own expense. Self-deprecation feels intelligent, it feels disarming. But hierarchy does not hear intention, it hears signal. When you make yourself the joke, you authorize others to do the same. Laughter is not always connection. Often it is rehearsal. Rehearsal for disrespect that will surface later when it costs you more. Predators mock prey before they strike, not because it is efficient, but because it conditions the target to accept lower status. When you initiate that conditioning yourself, you accelerate the process. The crowd laughs once, the hierarchy remembers forever. Equally dangerous is laughing too eagerly at others. Excessive agreement signals hunger for inclusion. Inclusion is not power, it is shelter, and shelter comes with rules. The one who laughs the loudest is rarely the one who leads. They are the one who follows closely, hoping proximity will translate into safety. Machiavelli observed that men respect distance more than warmth. Distance creates mystery. Mystery creates projection. Projection creates authority. When you collapse distance with familiarity, you remove the very space where power breathes. This is why rulers were once hidden behind ritual, silence, and formality. Not for vanity, for control. Public trust is another illusion people cling to. Trusting too quickly, sharing plans, revealing strategy, speaking as though discretion is mutual. It never is. Information leaks because humans leak, not always out of malice, but out of social currency. People trade stories for belonging. If your information circulates, your position weakens. In evolutionary terms, the individual who reveals future movement becomes predictable. Predictability invites interception. Machiavelli advised opacity, not because people are evil, but because they are unreliable under pressure. What someone knows about you today may be weaponized by someone else tomorrow.
There is also the error of correcting others publicly, even when you are right, especially when you are right. Public correction humiliates. Humiliation breeds resentment. Resentment waits patiently. It does not forget. The corrected person may smile, but their nervous system has already marked you as a threat. Powerful individuals correct privately and praise publicly, not out of kindness, but out of foresight. They understand that wounded pride is more dangerous than ignorance. A person who feels exposed will seek to restore balance, often by undermining you later when conditions favor them. Perhaps the most misunderstood principle is this: fairness has no audience. Power does. When you appeal to fairness in public, you reveal that you are playing the wrong game. The crowd does not enforce fairness, it enforces hierarchy. Those who rise understand the rules without needing them announced. Every public interaction is a test of self-command. The world is watching not for your brilliance, but for your restraint, not for your morality, but for your awareness. Machiavelli did not teach men to be cruel, he taught them to be awake. There are still behaviors that destroy authority instantly, even in silence. They involve fear, approval, and the need to be seen, and once committed, they are almost impossible to erase.
One of the most corrosive acts you can commit in public is revealing fear through avoidance. Not fear itself, but the way you try to hide it. Dodging eye contact, shrinking posture, nervous movement, over-politeness. These behaviors are read instantly, long before thought intervenes. The nervous system of others detects them the way animals detect weakness in the wild, not intellectually, instinctively. Fear is not punished because it is immoral. It is punished because it disrupts hierarchy. The group depends on stability. Anyone who appears internally unstable becomes a liability. Machiavelli understood that men do not follow those who look unsure of their place. Even compassion has limits when order feels threatened. Equally damaging is the hunger to be seen, speaking just to be noticed, interrupting, escalating volume, displaying knowledge without timing. Visibility without gravity cheapens presence. When you force attention, you reveal that you do not command it naturally. That admission lingers. The crowd may indulge you briefly, but it does not elevate you. Power draws attention by resisting it. The figure who does not rush to speak is assumed to have something worth withholding. Scarcity shapes value. The mind assigns importance not based on abundance, but on restraint. Machiavelli advised princes to appear rarely and deliberately because constant exposure breeds familiarity, and familiarity breeds disregard. Another silent collapse of authority occurs when you mirror others too eagerly, adopting their opinions, matching their emotional tone, aligning too quickly. This is not rapport, it is submission disguised as social intelligence. True power does not chase harmony, it creates it by being stable while others adjust. Humans unconsciously test for this stability. They exaggerate, they provoke, they shift positions. The one who remains internally unchanged passes the test. The one who adapts too fast reveals dependence. Dependence is the seed of control by others. There is also the mistake of public confession, sharing doubts, admitting confusion, exposing inner conflict in the name of honesty. Confession relieves the speaker, but burdens their image. The crowd does not offer absolution, it offers reclassification, from authority to equal, from equal to subordinate. In private, confession can build bonds. In public, it dissolves them. Machiavelli separated the two realms clearly. What strengthens intimacy often weakens command. Those who confuse the two pay for it later when decisions must be made,
and compliance is required. Another error is reacting defensively to misunderstanding, correcting tone, clarifying intent, attempting to control how you are perceived in real time. This backfires because it signals insecurity about reputation. Reputation that is solid does not rush to defend itself. It allows misinterpretation to die from lack of oxygen. The mind respects what survives ambiguity. When you overmanage perception, you reveal fear of judgment. Fear of judgment lowers rank. Those who hold power let others talk. They let narratives circulate. They intervene only when necessary, and when they do, it lands heavier because of its rarity. Machiavelli warned against being loved or hated too openly. Extremes create volatility. The safest position in public is composed distance, warm enough to function, cold enough to resist intrusion. This balance is not natural, it is trained. There is a final pattern beneath all these errors. They all stem from one illusion, that public space is for expression. It is not. It is for positioning. Expression is personal. Positioning is strategic. The person who confuses the two sacrifices long-term power for short-term relief. Public life is not where you empty yourself. It is where you contain yourself, where you decide what version of you exists in the minds of others. That version will act on your behalf when you are not present. It will open doors or close them, protect you or expose you. Most people never realize they are being represented by their smallest moments, a pause, a glance, a reaction. Machiavelli trained his mind to see these moments as weapons or liabilities. Once you do the same, you stop bleeding power unconsciously. There is one final layer, a deeper inversion, where restraint becomes dominance and silence becomes command. It is here that the initiated separate from the visible.
At the deepest level, public power is not about what you do. It is about what you never do. Restraint is not absence. It is pressure held inward, like a coiled mechanism. The crowd senses it without understanding it. This is why the calm individual unsettles the emotional one. This is why silence bends rooms more effectively than noise ever could. The final thing you must never do in public is seek moral validation. Do not appeal to goodness. Do not explain that you meant well. Do not attempt to be understood as kind, fair, or sincere. Morality is private currency. In public, it is irrelevant. Worse, it is exploitable. Those who signal moral urgency are easily manipulated by those willing to perform it better. Machiavelli did not reject morality. He rejected naivete. He saw that people admire outcomes, not intentions. They follow those who appear effective, not those who appear virtuous. When you seek validation for being good, you reveal that you are unsure of your effectiveness. That uncertainty places you below those who act without asking permission to be judged favorably. There is a moment when the listener must confront an uncomfortable truth. Power is not granted, it is inferred. Others infer it from your self-command, your boundaries, and your refusal to collapse under observation. When you stop asking to be seen a certain way, you begin to be seen that way. Predators do not announce dominance. They occupy space with certainty. They move when necessary. They wait when it serves them. The prey exhausts itself, signaling harmlessness. The predator conserves energy. Public life rewards the latter, even when it pretends otherwise. By now, you understand that Machiavelli's warnings were not about cruelty. They were about clarity, about understanding the machinery beneath politeness, about recognizing that most social rules exist to keep hierarchies stable, not to make individuals safe. Once you see this, you stop taking things personally. You stop overreacting. You stop leaking yourself into the environment.
You become deliberate. This is what separates those who are watched from those who are measured. The watched perform, the measured are calculated against. People adjust around them. They choose words carefully. They hesitate before challenging them, not because of intimidation, but because of uncertainty. And uncertainty is power's shadow. You will notice something change once you apply this. Conversations shorten, provocations decrease. People reveal more while you reveal less. This is not manipulation in the crude sense, it is asymmetry. You see more than you show. You understand more than you explain. You act less, but when you do, it carries weight. Machiavelli believed that the highest form of control was not force, but inevitability. When others feel that your position is natural, they stop resisting it. They adapt, they rationalize, they comply without being asked. This is not dominance imposed from above, it is dominance accepted from within their own minds. The crowd will never thank you for this discipline. It will not applaud restraint. It will simply respond to it. Doors will open quietly. Resistance will soften. Opposition will choose safer targets. And those who once dismissed you will find themselves recalibrating without knowing why. This knowledge is not for everyone. Most people prefer comfort to clarity. They prefer expression to control. They prefer to be liked rather than respected. That is why hierarchies persist. That is why power concentrates. That is why Machiavelli is still feared rather than understood. If you recognize yourself in these words, you already know what to do. You do not need encouragement. You need alignment. This channel is not for the many. It is for those who study the world as it is, not as it pretends to be. If you choose to remain among those who see clearly, who think strategically, and who refuse to bleed power in public, then you know the next step.